Hey time traveler, so good to see you again. I know it's been a while and I am so sorry. I've been wanting to do a video for a while and there has been a series of different things that have gone on since our last video. First, I had a video all geared up and for some reason it wasn't loading. This was actually in October, believe it or not. And I know that that is way too long to go without a video. But then what happened was I got ill, apparently tested positive for that, that thing. And so that put me out of commission for a little while. Then after that, we had the holidays and I had to go for some medical tests. I have ulcerative colitis, if I haven't told you before. There are different things that I have to do regularly to support that and to make sure that I'm healthy. And thank you, God, I am technically in remission, but I found out that my daughter was not feeling well, and it turned out that she also has ulcerative colitis and was diagnosed with it. So I had to take care of her, and there was a whole bunch of things that had gone on as well with getting her classes changed to online so she could recuperate, but she is doing great now. Anyway, I am so excited to return to my channel and I've got a really exciting topic now. So as I mentioned to you, I had a video that I'd geared up and I had ready to go, and then I had another one I'd recorded, and then unfortunately I got sick. But I'll show you, you can see this clip here, and you can see several of the cool things that I bought when I'd gone out hunting for vintage treasure. I have a Glassy baby, I have a Daryl Strawberry bear, I have some Murano glass, and one of the coolest things, and who doesn't love things for free, was that I found this table filled with free cool stuff, including vintage postcards and vintage Life magazines. And I was so excited about both of them. And they actually gave me that entire box of postcards, and I took the 3 of the 4 Life magazines. There were 2 from 1962 and there was 1 from 1963. Something that I think is so wonderful and valuable about these vintage magazines is not just the historical aspect with the articles in them, but all of the vintage advertisements are like gold. They give you a view into the past, what people were buying, what they were drawn to for ads, a little bit about society at that time, which gives you a glimpse into life in the past. But what is really great about this is that some of the products that are in the ads are still around today. But today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a shopping trip and we're going to go check out some of these products on the shelf in the stores, how they look today in comparison to how they looked in 1962 and 1963. Now, I have to give you a little disclaimer. First off, there are no sponsors for this video. So anything you see here, this is a non-sponsored video, and I'm not influenced by these advertisers in any way, shape, or form. This is just for historical purposes to show you what people shopped for back then and what you can still buy today that were available in 1962 and 1963. And then secondly, I'm not going to go into certain products like cigarettes and alcohol because first of all, they are not accessible to film like they used to be. They're locked behind cabinets in the stores when you go shopping for cigarettes. And in terms of alcohol, and it depends on your state, but in my state, you cannot buy beer or wine in the supermarket. You have to go specifically to a liquor store. So we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna focus on family-friendly products that are still available from the 1960s and that you can get them today in 2023. Before we go, we've got to make sure that we're dressed like we're going back into 1962 and 1963, right? We can't look like this, can we? Are you ready to step back in time with me? Let's go shopping like it's 1963. Come on, let's go. We've also got to get our eyewear on before we drive to the store. 1963 style. Started with a little hand sanitizer on my cart handle. There weren't any sanitizing wipes in the store. Of course, you wouldn't have done this in 1963. For each image, we'll start with a split screen with the vintage one on the left and the current one on the right, and so you can see this is Bayer aspirin. The vintage ad showed a regular variety as well as the children's chewable, which was available in orange, but as you can see from today, it's also available in other flavors. I don't know about you, but I was never a fan of the chewable aspirins, and there's a cherry flavor. Maybe it would have tasted better if it was in cherry. And then there's a multi-pack, which I would have cringed at years ago. But now we'll get to a close-up where you can see there's the orange flavored children's aspirin, and there's the adult aspirin, and here's a mom giving her little guy that, and you can see how much smaller the bottle was then. And you can see what it looks like on the shelf today, as well as the children's varieties. And there's that little heart logo on there, and I'm assuming that has to do with aspirin also being used for the heart and heart health, possibly, but I'm not 100% on that. Next, there's No-Dose, something I've never taken. The claim is as safe as coffee. Yeah, I kind of doubt that. And you can see what it looked like back in the 1960s. Keep alert, safe as coffee. And they're not making any of those claims on the current product box, as you can see here. So now we get to one of my personal favorites, which is Dial soap. I have fond memories of this product because this was a soap that my grandparents used and was in their house, and it's something that I keep in my house as well. Back when I was a kid, I just remember the gold bars, but now there are all different scents. And one of my fond memories was my Nana singing the theme song for the Dial commercial, the clean, confident feeling, aren't you glad you used Dial, just like this ad. And you can see up close the packaging does have a little dial on it with the clock, but you can see how the logo has changed and the clock is no longer on there, but we've still got the name and it still has that great classic scent. I love the look of this ad and this lady looking so relieved to have that Listerine in her mouth. And you can see how different it looks, and I think it was really that original flavor at that time. You can see that there are all different formulas now in the current day. You can also see the packaging has changed too, and it was a glass bottle back then that was round and now it's plastic. So we'll revisit the advertising here and you'll get a close-up view of Listerine antiseptic and what it looked like, and it kills germs on contact by the millions. And you can see the current bottle and that it kills 99.9% of germs. And I love the nostalgia here with the Campbell's soup. And the ad is for a turkey vegetable soup, and so I found old-fashioned vegetable to show you. You can also see a sign of the times with the chicken wonton soup that was on the shelf. I also saw cream of shrimp, which I thought was really fascinating and something that's kind of new. My favorite Campbell's soup from childhood was chicken and dumpling, and that's sadly long gone. And here's the ad, and they were offering to send people a quarter who were trying this new soup. And here it is, old-fashioned vegetable soup in the current day. And here's Lipton chicken noodle soup and what it looks like today. And there are a few different varieties, and there was actually a sale on the soup. So I ended up getting a few packs to take home with me. But the ad is really sweet with the little girl who's there with her bowl of soup. And you could see a little bit here. When I buy Lipton type of soup now, outside of purchasing this here, I normally buy the French onion soup, and I use that for recipes. But you can see all my soups lined up there that I took. I do like the appearance of the 1960s packaging with the country style tablecloth. While the 1960s packaging advertised fine noodles, you can see extra noodles here on the left. And now we're getting into the ad with hash. This is something that I started to enjoy with breakfasts in my 20s, and I'd never tried the roast beef hash until I'd gotten it for this video. And so it came to my attention, honestly, through this ad. And you can see how the cans look today versus the 1960s, and they still have that same signature. This was a Hormel product then, but that was not on the front of the label like it is today. And you can see the look of the label here on the ad, and you can see the company, the Hormel company at the bottom, and this is what the label looks like and the product today since 1891. I thought it would be fun to show the Chef Boyardee product. Even though there's no meatball stew anymore, there is still spaghetti and meatballs, and I thought that would be the closest equivalent to this old product. You can also see on the former label, the chef looks a bit different. He actually looks younger. So you can see as we get a close-up look in the old label versus the new label, maybe they decided to age him. I'm not sure, because he's got white hair in the current pictures. And you can see Ovaltine here on the left in the ad, and there are different varieties here on the right that we have nowadays. I think it's really cool as well. The advertisement mentions that special kids, I guess those are well-behaved kids, we've got the little halo over that boy's head, should get a scoop of ice cream with it, which that sounds really delicious. I have never heard of that before. And you can also see a close-up of the ad here, and also the push about it being vitamin rich. And you can also see here that Ovaltine is being boasted about for its immune health properties. This advertising campaign was one of the most fascinating to me because they were advertising evaporated milk being used for babies. That's something I have not heard of in the current day. I guess back then they were using it as a formula replacement, and it's got vitamin D added, which you can see in the current day product. And you can also see the carnations in both ads as well, and both packages. But I thought that that was really fascinating to me. And this is what it looks like today. And also the label, as you can see, is in Spanish as well. Here's another carnation product. I am showing the breakfast drinks here. The ad actually shows the powdered milk, which I know is still around, but it wasn't in the store. I don't know if it's harder to find because of the pandemic, but you can see the ad here with the carnations on the package again, and you can see the high protein breakfast drinks. And we're going to focus on another breakfast food, Kellogg's Corn Flakes, which you can see still has a very similar packaging. with the rooster and also the logo, the way that it's written. What was really cool though is that I also found a honey flavored cornflake that we have now, and I thought that that was a really nice touch, and I'd be curious to even try that. I think that sounds really wonderful. And you can see what the ad looked like in 1962, and then you can see what the packaging looks like today. And there's the honey flavor, brand new. Now we go from breakfast to sodas, which some people will have soda at breakfast, but that's not my vibe. And you can see a couple of great Coke ads here and what Coke looked like with its packaging. They're even advertising a float with Coke. And there's a nice couple there enjoying Coke. And you can see all the different formulas that there are that Coke has now, and also the different types of bottles and cans. And then I even found glass bottles too, the old-fashioned style glass, which was awesome. I collect Coke bottles, and I have some of the old-fashioned ones with the lettering etched into it, which I love. But this is very cool and retro, and I'm gonna have to get some. So you can see what the bottle looks like there in the one ad, and now you can see how the packaging looked then and what it looks like today. It's still got that old-fashioned appeal to it. This one does, at least. So we're moving on to 7-Up, and you can see the logo if you're able to see the advertisement on the left and how it looks. Right now there's not too much of it, but as it scrolls up, you'll notice people there. It's kind of a harvest theme, and you can see that it was still the green glass, and people are holding their 7-Up bottles. Now, I wasn't able to find glass 7-Up bottles. Oh, and there's the Life magazine advertisement there, but you can see that's what the logo looked like then. And then you can see what it looks like today. So it's definitely a bit more modern and fresh than it was then. Now we've got saltines, and you can see that Nabisco saltines are still around. And this is the original style one, which they called the premium saltines way back when. And they were in a special pack to keep them fresh, which I know that they still pride themselves on. Now the company that owns these is actually called Mondelez now, and even though it's a Nabisco brand, and now they have unsalted tops, and you can see that's what it looked like in the advertisement in the 1960s, and here it is on the shelf today, and the unsalted tops for people who are looking to cut their salt. So we're moving on to another Nabisco product, the Wheat Thins, and you can see, and there's also a Sports Illustrated card in the magazine, that there were Wheat Thins back then, but there were also bacon flavored Wheat Thins, which, darn, why aren't those around? There are a ton of other flavors though that we've got, and I thought this was really awesome. Now we have Good Thins, which are gluten-free, and since my daughter's been dealing with her health issue, she's on a gluten-free diet, so I picked up some boxes of those for her. You can see more varieties of the Wheat Thins, and then here are the Good Thins, and there was one of the flavors. So we've got another snack item to show here, and it's the Brax candies. When I'd first come up with the concept of this video, it was shortly after I had gotten these magazines, and I was going to do this back in the fall and show you the Brax candies because they have all the candy corn and those cute little pumpkins. But you can also see jelly beans on the ad, and right now, since we're in the Easter season, Brax jelly beans are around. So it's great to see that we still have the candies, and then you can see the classic jelly eggs and the logo that it is now. I ventured over to the frozen food section to pick out this Hungry Man, and you can see Swanson dinners, which Swanson is no longer around, and from what I had read is now Hungry Man. And you can see how it looked then and what it looks like today. From what I've read, the concept of TV dinners came around because there was a company that did need to find a home for turkey that they had, and so they came up with this concept. And I love the old-fashioned aluminum trays. I miss those. Nothing like it. And so this is what it looks like today, the turkey dinner. Winding down my shopping trip, we are looking at the Life magazine ad for $1.99 for all of those weeks, but now they have only special magazines, and this is one with Audrey Hepburn. Yeah, 20 weeks for just $1.99. The Audrey Hepburn special magazine was like around $14.99. I wound down my shopping trip and I picked up some of the items that we looked at, as well as some others that I needed. Well, thank you so much for coming with me on this shopping trip, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new. And please continue to stay tuned with me here at Step Back in Time with Jennifer. I hope you liked this video, and please subscribe. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. And in this clip, you can see that I bought all sorts of things, and actually you can see this clip here, and you can see all of the cool things that I bought. You can see this clip here, and you can see several of the cool things that I bought when I'd gone out hunting for vintage treasures. I have a glassy baby. I have a glassy baby. I have a glassy baby. I have my Daryl Strawberry bear. I have a glassy baby. I have my Daryl Strawberry bear. I have there. We're going to see, and all right, let me try this again. So something I think that's so wonderful and valuable about the vintage magazines is not just the historical, it's really important. And what is this thing flying around my face here? And, all right, we're gonna try this again. So I'm just really looking at these ads for historical purposes. And then, all right, where was I going with this? Are you ready to shop? Oops, I gotta keep looking in the lens. Beep, 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 beep. We've also got to get our eyewear on. Hello. All right, let's reset this to an image.